George McDermott, it's the 27th day of June 2026. I'm leaving my home here in Oxon Hill, Maryland, heading to the United States Supreme Court to file these papers on behalf of Linda Nash out of Florida. She's been horribly mistreated by the courts, and her case is kind of unique. I just got off the phone with her a second ago, and she said that there's only been one other case before the Supreme Court for writ of mandamus that was accepted, and they accepted hers. In the history of the court. And that's pretty significant, folks. That is very significant. So, we're still fighting for her. We're fighting for everybody. But there's so many things wrong with our Supreme Court today that it's impossible to understand why the government of the United States has not. These corporate courts disrespect our rule of law and our Constitution so much, you know. And a lot of it is the fact that we've only impeached 11 or 12 judges in 250 years. I also I'm filing my server's notice to the court, letting them know that I just received another unsigned order from the clerk of the court regarding my July 14th. May 14th filings to Chief Justice John Roberts, which was never answered. It was dismissed, denied on the 15th, and I got a notice back on the 15th of June saying that the court has no jurisdiction. It has no jurisdiction to review cases that have not already been through the other courts. The record that I have out there right now is unbelievable. It's well supported by evidence and documents. There's no way that anybody can say that I have not acted in constant good faith with the court. But it's been a horrendous week with what happened to Linda. Linda's having her problems down there in Florida. Bruce Gable's having his problems. He's not being allowed any due process in the state of Washington State. Joe Moore is being robbed more and more by the hour because of Maryland's corrupt legal system, and all the other victims that I have on my website. And yet the Supreme Court will not answer a simple question as to how and why our Supreme Court and courts of appeals and clerks' offices, all acting in consort one with another, continue to issue these sham, unsigned, unverifiable court orders. It's ludicrous, to say the least. But and then on top of that, Sherry Evelyn is, she would not be in the hospital in Johns Hopkins shock trauma case right now If it weren't for the corruption in Cecil County, Maryland, she never would have been in a position where she got so brutally hit and crushed both of her legs. And just the last week or so, I've got to get over to see her. Further, she's her brother. I stopped by the Perkins Hospital in Jessup, Maryland, and they still refuse to produce where he is his inmate number. They refuse to produce anything. They say they're under court order. And I told him she's in shock trauma. She's the only last living relative of the estate of James Ray Charles. And look at prior videos and you'll see that I was out there and acted in good faith. But this is terrible. This is terrible. And we can't let this continue, folks. Did get some good news today, this week. On the 23rd, I was put through to the general election. I was voted in to run for the 4th congressional seat in Maryland as a Republican, even though I vehemently disagree with the dictator Donald John Trump and his people, who I have filed multiple lawsuits against, and none of his attorneys seem to answer anything. The clerks of the courts are dismissing all these claims. We need to shut down the clerk's offices and stop the monopoly on the court system by the justices and the clerk's office of this nation. And this goes all the way back to the founding days of our Constitution. There's always been those in power, those with political influence, those corporate entities that pay for the election processes of the candidates, get all the justice, and the other 90% of our population have to stand by and see everything that they believed in, that the Constitution of 1776, Declaration of Rights, said that we are all created equal. We all have equal access to the courts and equal justice under the law. That's a lie. That's a lie. Can you imagine the 250 years the Supreme Court of the United States has only accepted one other petition for writ of mandamus before the case that Linda Nash has going currently at that court. Give me a break. It's and the case number is 123- it comes to the court from 123-3134 CJN, United States District Court Judge Nichols. I've got so many unsigned orders from Judge Nichols and the other U.S. District Court judges in Maryland and D.C. and Delaware. I've never seen a real signed order by any of these judges. That's why I had to petition Chief Justice Roberts to look into the matter of the use of the court seal and the court's resources to rape, rob, and pillage our fellow citizens of our legal constitutional rights under the Constitution of the United States of America. I'll pick this up when I leave the Supreme Court. I just pulled out of my driveway and I'm heading into D.C. I now can see the Washington Nationals Stadium and the dome of the Capitol, so that tells you how far I live away from the capital of the United States. I'll pick this up phase 2. God bless everyone. Have a great day.